Hello everyone, welcome back to the Tots episode. So this time, following up for favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, and cause, well, I've already done my Sword and Shield catching the world, let's do favorite Gen 8 Pokemon. So, before we get into this, just let you know that, again, because this game's still early, the list will change depending on how I end up using this Pokemon online, if I end up going online. Because remember, in Gen 7, I basically avoided online, so if just so I can go online with this game, because, you know, it's a console. So, I just want to figure out what my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon is. So, sometime before the release of Sword and Shield, I made a twit longer post about my favorite, what my thoughts about each of the Generation 8 Pokemon. But I'm not going to reference that much at all for this one. However, I'm probably going to see if I can remember most of these. And also, I will not mention Galarian forms, because I didn't mention Alolan forms in a very Gen 7 Pokemon video, so maybe I can do a favorite alternate form Pokemon in a separate video. Okay, so this is just pure Gen 8 Galar native Pokemon. Okay, so let's get done to this, and for next hospital, I'm going to do Pokemon Sword and Shield that are my favorite but aren't there. Okay, so let's get right down to it. The list. Number 10 is Scorch. Mostly because of his Gigantamax form. Because like his G-Max form is actually pretty big. It's a long boy. I mean, it's not the longest boy, but it's a very, very long boy. So I actually really do like Scorch. Also, is Bug Fire. It's a good type. If Vulcan has anything to say about it, it's a really good type. And I have used it on Max Ray battles. You know, just specifically the G-Max form. It's a very good bug. It's not my favorite bug, not even close, like not even close to you know, Scolipede as my favorite, you know, Centipede, Millipede kind of bug. But it is very good. I like the design of it, especially its face. Also kind of reminds me, you know how the Fire Gym has like a samurai helmet, but also has like the cross, like the fire cross, kind of like Scorch's face. It's kind of like that. I think it's kind of something that I have noticed. I've noticed on the Fire Gym, nowhere else in the game, that the logo has part of its main Pokemon in it. There are probably others in there, but I've never really noticed it until that. So it's a really good Pokemon. Also like the Raider Pokemon. I like it. It's kind of basically it's like a bacon bug. So people call it kind of like a bacon bug or a grill bug, but it's a really like cool looking Pokemon. It's a good type, and all has this little fire mustache thing. Number 9 is Flapple. Now, first of all, Appleton is not on this list. I should like Flapple more. But when I first saw Flapple on the Pokedex leak, I was thinking that maybe I might like it. But also kind of confused about what's its relationship to Appleton. Because some people, myself included, like at first think that's kind of a 3-stage line. But I realized, wait a minute, they're too different to be a 3-stage line. There had to be like some sort of split evolution, and according to the Gigantamax form, it's actually a split evolution depending on version. Which means that I'm probably gonna like Flapple. Unfortunately, I did not get to use it in my main team catching the world. However, I did use it on a second file, so I did end up using Flapple on a second file of Sword. And I did end up liking it. However, unfortunately, its moveset's terrible. Well, its moveset's terrible. Its stats are good for its moveset, but the moveset is not good. You know, for a Grass Dragon type, you'd think it have better moves, but no, it doesn't. It doesn't have a single attack that can hurt Steel types, first of all. So it's a very difficult Pokemon to bring through, especially considering they're very powerful Steel type Pokemon like Ferrothorn, like Aegislash, just running around like the big boys of OU right now. So it's really hard to justify using Flapple, but it is a really good design. It's a really I really like it. I just really like it. I mean, yes, Appleton and even Applin took me a while to get used to, liking, but they're pretty good Pokemon designs. So there we go. Number 8, it's Toxtricity! The Toxtricity, oh my goodness. Especially Ant form. That's supposed to be the primary one, the Ant form. I really do like this thing's design. It's a cool looking Pokemon. Especially like the punk rock design. The punk design is really cool. Its ability is punk rock, and it's the typing. It's a really good mix of Pokemon. Like a unique typing, a cool design to go with that unique typing. Moves that works with the unique typing, stats that work. Sometimes with the unique typing, I think it's like mostly social attacker, but can go mixed. It can go either way, really. It has moves that could go either way. Good in singles, good in doubles, because even if you want to use Technician, if you were going to use plus or minus, you could use plus or minus, and Entrainment still a move. Unfortunately, you can't have like Entrainment and plus or minus in the ability because minus not in the game. Shame, but hey, it's a cool Pokemon to go with all the stuff that goes with it. So Toxtricity is a really cool Pokemon, especially the Ant form. Granted, the low-key form is also really cool looking, but I feel like the purple and yellow work better together than the purple and blue. Seven is Surfetched. While I am not including Galarian forms, I am including evolutions of Galarian forms. And yes, I do think Galarian Farfetch'd. I think Galarian Farfetch'd is a better design than Surfetch'd is. But again, I'm not counting Galarian forms, so I'm just including Surfetch'd into this. But dude, Surfetch'd. Like when Surfetch'd got revealed, okay, first of all, it's kind of like a glitch or something, and then got soft revealed, and then got really revealed. And everyone just loves Surfetch'd. Like, it's like those immediately loved Pokemon. Mostly because it's an evolution to an old Pokemon that wasn't very good. It's pure fighting type. It's actually quite surprising that, wait a minute, it can't fly anymore? And it turns out, no, it can't fly anymore. Well, he's not a flying type anymore because of Galarian Farfetch'd is stuck to the ground holding a giant leak about, like, 1.25 times, 1.25 or to 1.5 times its size. But anyway, Surfetch'd immediately, as soon as I could think of it, I thought of mostly Kevin, and I thought of a really hilarious meme of putting Monster Hunter jokes into it. So what I did was I put the Shark Bite Lance onto Surfetch'd, and it just looks really cool. It looks like a freaking Lance main in Monster Hunter. It makes me want to see it actually in Monster... Like, so I make a mod of Surfetch'd into Monster Hunter. I just want to see, like, what it looks like. It'll be awesome. Like, seeing this little duck thing just destroy something like a Glavenus or something. That would be kind of awesome. But yeah, Surfetch'd, very good design. And a much-needed evolution. Would it be good? Probably not. But it's definitely captivating to people's hearts. Six, Dragapult, and here we have a Pokemon that is arguably the most viable so far in early OU of Sword and Shield. Yeah, this guy is like right now it's like the king of OU. It will probably be demoted later, but He's the current starting King of OU. And, well, it's a pseudo-legendary of the region, so it kind of makes sense for it to be such. Ghost Dragon type, man. It's a really good type to go with, especially considering the last time you had a Ghost Dragon type, it was pretty dang powerful, so... having another one, it's pretty good too. It's designed like the tip of his tail kind of goes translucent. It's kind of definitely looks like a ghost because of, the translucent tail and the tail, then the freaking dreepy on its head that kind of looks like it's supposed to be fired. And it kind of it's even that in its unique move, the dragon darts, where it literally just launches dreepy out of their like heads and attacks twice. So I feel like that's really cool. I like the idea of the Dreepy line being like an aircraft carrier of sorts, where the Dreepy are like the planes, and then the Dragolac and Dragapult being like the actual carrier. So I really do like the idea of the aircraft carrier Pokemon, and it's funny because like its head is shaped like that stealth. Like, what's it called? I don't know, I forgot what it's called. But it's like the one, like, stereotypically, like, stealth plane that is kind of immune to radar. Heck, it's even called the stealth Pokemon. So, it's definitely like one of those stealth aircraft mixed with an aircraft carrier. It's actually really, really cool, like, inspiration for design of a Pokemon that's a ghost and a dragon. So it's really cool. I definitely do like it. Maybe I might get to use it in online if it doesn't get banned. Unlike what may be the fate of Galarian Darmanitan. Even though I did have Bread in Zen mode, so... Number 5, Wooloo. Okay, this one is kind of the most obvious one. This one, like, it's like with the most immediate, like probably the most immediate of, like, fan praise. Like, ever since the beginning of Sword and Shield hype. Like, ever since the beginning of this thing, like, people immediately gravitate towards Wooloo as, like, the cutest thing ever. I mean, it's a round sheep. First of all, it's a sheep, which in itself is cute. It's round, and people love round stuff, and it's just, like, very happy all the time. So, and people make memes of Wooloo, how cute it is, and how it spreads positivity around. It's a very adorable Pokemon. Is it good? No. But does it have to be? No. But at least it's not the, the traditional, regional rat of the region. So... at least it's not that. So, it's a very good Pokemon. It's a very cute Pokemon. Everyone loves it. Its shinies, one of the best shinies ever, which is why Shay has been trying her best and failing in anger and in her being tired of trying to find a shiny Wooloo. Maybe by the time this video is made or sometime later that Shay finally gets her shiny Wooloo. But it's a very great design. It's a very great shiny, is all I'm saying. So, yeah, Zulu has probably the best shiny out of, like, the entire freaking game so far. So, yeah, it's a very cute Pokemon. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves Wooloo. Number 4. Okay, before I get to it, now normally I would put my starter somewhere in this video. However, my starter is not in my favorite Gen 8 Pokemon list. Here's the thing, right? I never really liked too much the base form or the final forms of any of the Galar starters. But, and even with the base form, I really do just like Grookey, and that's it. However, when it comes to their middle forms, which I generally, it's probably like the deciding factor whether or not I would like a starter. And even though my Avatar cycle went to grass, and honestly, it kind of liked it, even though at one point I wanted to replace it with Flapple, but still, this. Raboot is probably one of the coolest freaking starters. Like, it's definitely the best looking starter out of the entire storyline in Galar. It freaking looks like it has an emo phase. So you think that's Score Bunny, it looks like his height is like energetic and stuff. Also, I went to this emo phase before going to freaking anime protagonist mode. It's crazy. So yeah, Raboot is one of the best freaking middle forms of a starter. I mean, nowhere near as good as Ivysaur, mind you. But I do like to draw like comparisons to Quilava, as they're both pure fire types, and they're my how to say this. Raboot and Quilava are the middle forms of a fire starter whose avatar cycle went to the grass starter. So because like how in this game I went for Grookey, and in Johto I went for Chikorita. However, I like the middle form of the fire starter more than push the entire line of the grass starter, even though I prefer the grass starter in general more. That's Raboot and that's Quilava. I have not used Cinderace or any of the Score Bunny line at all. So if I get Shield, and that's a big if I get Shield, then I will go for Score Bunny. Heck, maybe I might go for Score Bunny and not above Raboot, just to keep it as a Raboot and not go for freaking the anime protagonist over here. Yeah, I can tell I'm probably not particularly fond of Cinderace. So, I mean, the design is fine, but it just has that Inazuma 11 like anime protagonist or something. It looks forced. That's all I'm saying. It looks forced. Like they're trying to make it cool, but it is not cool. It looks really why. At least not in Teleon. But Raboot, great form. I love rabbits. But Cinderace, man. It's a freaking emo phase considering it goes from energetic to emo to protagonist. Heck, speaking of protagonist, freaking Go, which is one of the main protagonists of the new Sun and Moon anime, has a Score Bunny. So my mind went to, of course they're gonna have a Score Bunny. Because he's the freaking protagonist. Well, it's not the protagonist, Ash, but still. Anyway, Rabbit's design's cool. Moving on. Well, guess another fire type, freaking Colossal. Actually, the fun thing is, like, I remember when I was writing the my thoughts on Twit longer, I first thinking, why do you have another rock fire type? Like, last time I had a rock fire type, it didn't went well at all. And plus the speed stat's terrible. Well, it just looks like that other one. But as I went on looking at what this thing can do, especially when it comes to like upping its speed stat, considering it's like starts at 30 base speed. But as I was keep looking at things it can do, especially to boost up that speed, I slowly, as I was writing it, you could probably tell by if you would see it, then you would know that I went from kind of why is this a thing to I think it's getting used to this thing looks pretty good. I mean the design's already really good, but still. And I keep going on to realize, oh my goodness, I think this is actually pretty dang good. I think this might actually be viable. I mean, it probably won't be viable because, water and ground exists. But it has a thing to deal with water, since if it gets hit by a water move, then its speed goes up by all the way. And you can have ways to reduce damage from water type attacks. But that Earthquake weakness, though, is going to be a problem, even with, like, good defense. Here's the thing with Earthquake, right? Even if you have, like, max defense, you probably have a hard time if you have a double weakness to Earthquake. Unless you have Levitate or something, but still. Colossal is a Pokemon, I think it's a very good Pokemon, so... And I'm using it on the team, so it's a very good Pokemon for the team. Definitely reliable. Unfortunately, for me specifically, I've taught it Heavy Slam and, what was it, Fire Crash? Or I forgot the great name, the Heat Crash. However, they don't work on raid battles because of, stuff that moves that compare weight don't work on Dynamax Pokemon. Because, like, their weight is considered question mark. Like, yeah, it's considered question mark. So, because even though moves like, say, low sweep work on it, low kick can't. Even though they both function are identical in what you think they'll do. But, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate that a lot of the Half-Life moveset straight won't work on Dynamax. And I probably would need a fire type, sometimes, which is why Center Scourge is on this list. But Colossal, without Dynamax, it's a very good Pokemon. So that's what I was like. I feel kind of Colossal. It's a very good heavy Pokemon that makes use of Heat Crash more than the original user of Heat Crash. Okay, so the next two slots are all the entire evolutionary lines. Again, I have not had like this much love for entire lines. Like even with Gen 7, I do love the Bounce Sweet line. That's like one line. But this game has not one but two evolutionary lines that I absolutely adore, and they both would qualify for my favorite Pokemon list if I decide to redo that, considering that list is made in Gen 6. So, let's start with the Hatenna line. Okay, first of all, the Hatenna line. Let's start with Hatenna, because I think it's very adorable. It's kind of like Sleep Kirby, except not asleep and has a lot of hair. The entire line is about the vibe check, as I keep hearing. That, hey, if you're showing emotions, I would slap you. With Hatenna, it's just straight up adorable. Like, you want to hug it all the time and love it, but it won't let you. Because it just doesn't like emotions that much. And when it evolves into Hatterene, which is, again, very adorable. It's so cute. And he doesn't even have, like, the legs sort of don't work. He just has the big pigtails just, stand up for it. And the weird thing is how strong those things are. The hair is very strong. Because, like, the moment it evolves, it wants to learn Brutal Swing. Which is not something you would expect on something this cute. And then I have also freaking Hatterene. And, oh my goodness, Hatterene. Like, when I saw Hatterene, I was thinking, oh my goodness, they're trying to recreate Gardevoir, are they? I mean, think about it. It is the definitive Poke-waifu of the generation. It's the same type as Gardevoir. And, like Gardevoir's had a Mega Evolution, this one has a G-Max form. And, oh my goodness, it's just like... It's definitely the parallels, it's kind of crazy. There's even like a meme involving a Hatterene and Gardevoir where they slap each other. That's a hilarious meme. I gotta tell you why. It's pretty funny, but like the two are very similar. I mean, because their stats are very different. Their moveset's very different. Their egg groups are vastly different. Because here's the thing. Even though Gardevoir went into the human-like egg group, I said human shit, I think I'm Jinx. Even though Gardevoir went to the human-like egg group, the Hatterene line are all in the fairy egg group exclusively. And I'm not sure if they're ever going to move to the human-like egg group anytime soon, mostly because Hatterene is just a sphere with legs and hair. But, yeah. And the funny thing is, Hatterene just has a lot of hair. Like the entire this freaking hourglass shape, it's mostly just hair. Kind of like Grimmsnarl is just a lot of hair. Hatterene is just a lot of hair, and it's just very, very thin. If you look past the hair. So there you go. It's not so much a Poke-waifu, if you really think about it. But hey, it's a definitive Poke-waifu of the generation. So what are you gonna do? I mean, I still love it, but especially considering like when you go to Pokemon Camp and once it walks towards you, it has that little evil face. It's like it's kind of like a yandere face, maybe. I mean, that's why I named my Hatterene Yandere, but it's very. I just love the design of this Pokemon. Like its previous two forms are adorable, and the final form is just really good looking. And plus, it's just really good. It's a good Pokemon. And learns Trick Room because it's Psychic type and low speed. You know that ends up. So that's a really good G-Max move. So it's a really good G-Max move. Unfortunately, Dynamaxing is banned in Smogon, but we're not playing Smogon. We're not playing Showdown. I'm playing freaking online, or rather, I'm going to play online soon enough because I'm not set up yet on it. Either way, good Pokemon. It shines alright too. I like it shiny. I'm not sure if I like it more than the normal colors, so I can't say about that. Anyway, to one. Okay, so when I was writing the my thoughts on every Gen 8 Pokemon, I was thinking to myself, okay, what's gonna be Hatterene as my favorite Pokemon of the generation? There's no way anything could beat it. And then I was scrolling down, right? And I was looking, looking at my thoughts on every Pokemon, and then I came across this little thing, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is super adorable. I think I'm gonna like this. What does it evolve to? Whoa! I like this! The Snom line! Yeah, it is the Snom line! Oh my goodness! I am so happy that so many people have memed Snom to death of how adorable it is. It's even one guy on YouTube that's doing a Nuzlocke of just Snom. It is like freaking amazing how much Snom is memed on. And I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. First of all, its name. It is like the simplest name you could probably think of a Pokemon, like especially considering this generation. How so many Pokemon, I think almost all of them, have some sort of like the names are based on some sort of like take two different words and match them together somehow, or take one word and then just corrupt it a bit to make it sound like a Pokemon name. And Snom is like the former case where just Snow and the word Nom, or just Moth, I guess. It is super simple. I also love it that it's like one syllable. Like, how many Pokemon have only one syllable in their names? Not a lot. If you just think of any Pokemon, you want. Does its name have one syllable on it? Not if it's Snom. So, it's a very exclusive club for Pokemon that with only one syllable in their names. And the design also very simple, because it's just a little pill, like a little pill bug or something, and it's surrounded by a little maybe let's say 3/4 in or a bit lower of like ice spikes. It's a very simple Pokemon. Like I'm surprised that the devs haven't thought of this design since all the way back to the 90s. This looks like a Generation 1 Pokemon for design. And yes, Generation 1 Pokemon are kind of like hated on for being Gen 1, and we have all the love, but if you think about it, this is a very simple Pokemon. It's kind of like Phalanx in a way. If you think of Phalanx, probably Phalanx you can tell it's not on this list, but I will commend Phalanx for having like a design that at first would be confusing, but if you really think about it, if you really look into it in action, the things are beastlies, like little beastie Kirby's. But it's kind of the same idea. It's like take something simple and modify it just a little bit to make it resemble something. And that is Snom. I do love it. And then it evolves into a Pokemon that I absolutely adore. Because, like, here's the thing, again, I said this before on the Fairy Gen Star Pokemon list, but there's one feature I love in a Pokemon, like what they will guarantee my love for Pokemon is if its design is freaking majestic. And that is not Hatterene, but Frostmoth. which is kind of surprising because like there are a lot of like favorite Pokemon that are very majestic looking. But when it comes to like then Gardevoir thing, but freaking like Frosted looks really majestic. I love it. And not just like the design of Frostmoth, it just looks really, really good. First of all, Ice and Bug type hasn't really been used. So, and granted, it's not a type combo you'd want to use, because while it's weak to Fire, which is a very common type, and weak to Rock, which is a bad thing for if you want to face against Stealth Rock users. But it's a really good, if you just remove the Fire and remove the Rock, and you have a really, really good Pokemon. Especially considering its hitting ability is a unique one that's like, take Furfru's like main ability, except apply it for special attacks. So, and that's actually a really good thing. Like, if you're even facing against many fire attacks, like, especially fire special attackers, then you, in theory, could probably take something. But, maybe not a flamethrower from, like a stab fire, maybe not a stab flamethrower, but it might be take, like, a coverage move flamethrower, then it might be able to take it. But it's also a very good Pokemon. It's got some good moves, some good stats to go with those good moves. Good hidden abilities, main ability, alright, whatever. But, and that, if I remember, I think it has saved me a few times. But it's a very good Pokemon, like, overall. However, before I conclude, I just want to tell you this, right? Even though I didn't have the Hatter line and then the Snom line, the real order of it between, like, the 5 of them is Hatcham, Hatenna, Snom, Hatterene, and Frosmoth at the top. So, specifically this order. So, it's not like I would put Hatterene before Frosmoth above Snom, but let's have Snom above Hatenna and Hatcham. So, just letting you know right now. Okay, so that is it for this list. Now, what I plan next is my favorite Pokemon not in Sword and Shield. Now, just want to let you know, first of all, go watch the previous tops before this. Go watch Tops 100, because I will mention every Pokemon there that is not currently in Sword and Shield. And also look at my favorite Gen 7 Pokemon, because I will be mentioning a few from there too. Because, like, I will mention all of them. And you will probably miss only one Pokemon, because it's going to be a top 15. So go watch those 3 videos first before watching the next tops. So anyway, that is all. See you guys later.